Hey everyone, and happy Godzilla Day! November 3rd is the anniversary of Godzilla's initial release, and my own birthday, so I like to celebrate with my birthday twin. For this year's video, I decided that this would be an appropriate time to finally update the collection and buyer's guide. A lot of cool stuff came out this year, which is partly why I waited so long, where I usually do these in the summertime, but I waited till the end of the year, and Godzilla Day conveniently, to update the collection and talk about some of the newer stuff and the different releases for the newer films and which ones I think are better. As you can see just from the shelf alone, got a lot of new stuff, and not just the new releases, but some older stuff that I was able to pick up as well. I also must apologize, I am in the process of moving, so things look a little hectic right now. And as you can see, I do have some space here. I am waiting still on one item that's been shipped and still hasn't got here yet. Hopefully it will by the time I need to get this video up, or it's gonna end up being a YouTube short. Spoilers, is the new Shin Godzilla release. Well, for now, let's go ahead and dig into what I already have. Like I did last year, I will talk about the best variants of each film. The primary focus are on Blu Rays and 4Ks, but of course I'll be talking about the DVDs and their variants as well, what are good, and typically what you want to avoid. So let's go ahead and move to the table and dig right into it. So starting off with the VHS tapes, as you can see, this has grown quite exponentially since the previous video. Originally I only had a couple Showas and a couple Heisei, but now I actually have the entire Heisei collection and a few more Showas added on. So we got two new additions here, Raids Again and King Kong vs. Godzilla. This is the same King of the Monsters I had from last year. This is Paramount, this is Video Treasures, and Hollywood Movie Greats. Show off the back cover. So something interesting about the Raids Again is that it actually has the original subtitle Gigantus the Fire Monster, which even the DVD release actually replaced the title card, but the VHS has the original title card, so this is pretty much the closest to the unaltered US cut out there, to my knowledge. And Raids Again has a very limited amount of US releases, the DVD and the Blu Ray, and maybe Laserdisc. I should check that up. King of the Monsters has had many releases. This is my personal favorite. I still need to check out the remastered one though, the remastered VHS tape. So that's the first three. Actually, I also have Godzilla vs. Mothra here, which is also Paramount. As you see, it matches the King of the Monsters release. I love consistency. I love consistency in my releases, so I really like this. There's a couple more tapes like this, but I don't have them yet. That's pretty much all I really need are Showa tapes and the one singular Millennium film that we got. Godzilla 2000 came out in VHS. I also have a copy of Godzilla vs. Gigan and Godzilla vs. Megalon. This Megalon was given to me by a friend. Thank you, Shandy. Both of these, Megalon especially, has had many different releases. I don't even know if there is an ideal one, but I'm not so sure about Gigan. I think he may only had a couple. Megalon, for whatever reason, just like, I don't know what it was. Something slipped through copyright, and there were so many Megalon tapes. It's kind of crazy. And this is the one, I am happy this is the one that's got them on the Twin Towers, which of course does not happen in the movie. This is one of the most absurd cover arts of all time, and I love it. I absolutely adore it. So, those are all my Showa tapes. I know, missing quite a bit still. Now, Heisei, we got that whole set. I believe I had both of these last time, but here is 1985, which only released on VHS, Beta, and I believe Laserdisc. Never released on DVD officially or Blu-ray. You can get bootlegs, of course. Always can get bootlegs, but there are no official releases for 1985, and that is the US recut with Raymond Burr. I actually made my own Blu-ray for this, as you'll see when we get to the Blu-ray section. But there are no official releases for the US cut. The Japanese cut, yes, that is on Blu-ray and DVD. But for the US, not so much. There's a couple different releases for this one, I think maybe 3. This is the one that does have Bambi vs. Godzilla. And Biollante is the original HBO release. This is the only tape for Biollante. In fact, the rest of the Heisei films only have one tape after this. There are no other alternate releases. And I do like the cover art on this one a lot more than the DVD. And of course, it's worth noting that these tapes are dub only because these are the US releases. They do not have the original Japanese. You would have to find a subtitled import or just an import. And it was a lot harder back then if you wanted to watch these films in their original format. We have Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, which I believe was the last one I had last time, but now I've got the rest of the films. I've got Mothra Battle for Earth. These tapes, you know, the cover arts aren't nearly as godly as the original Japanese posters, but there's something that's really, I don't even just say nostalgic. There's something really iconic about these. Like they really pop out at you, and you know, you're a kid going through Blockbuster or whatever rental store, and you see this, you just want to grab it because it looks so, it's just popping at you. It looks so colorful, exciting. I really do like these. And if I ever feel the inkling to want to watch a Heisei film in dub for whatever reason, I will do it through VHS. I still do use these. I mean, it's watching Godzilla on VHS is like listening to music on vinyl. Here's Mechagodzilla 2. Space Godzilla. This one was kind of hard for me to find, actually. Space Godzilla and Destroya, they cost me a little bit more than I'm proud to say, but I gotta complete the collection. This is my favorite era of Godzilla films, so I really wanted to have the full set. And they just look so good together, too. Godzilla vs. Destroya. All these have really cool, iconic covers. And I got some extra little goodies too. I got the first two rebirths of Mothras, which these also came out in DVD. The third one did not release in the US until Blu Ray. So this is the complete collection for Rebirth of Mothra. Godzilla 98. It's not the shiny version, but it's there. And I actually found this at a thrift store for like 90 cents. But there's all my VHS movies so far. So much bigger than last year, definitely. Let's move on to DVDs. So I've got a couple box sets here, literally two. This is the big one. This is the Toho Master Collection, Godzilla Collection. There are 3 versions of this box set. This is version 2. The first one is a much nicer box where you can actually take the top off and you have all the movies in it. This is one that's just got all the films on the side. Still nice because you still get the individual covers, but not the best packaging. And the third version is just a DVD case that has all the discs in it. I'll go through those films individually in a moment. And then I got this one. It's pretty cool. 50th anniversary, one of the mini TriStar boxes. It's got Hedorah, Gigan, and 98 in it. See them there. All individual cases. So now let's go through the movies and talk about the best versions, many of which only have one version, but we'll go through that. So out of all of the DVD releases for Godzilla, my favorite is the Toho Master Collection. This was part of the box set that I showed. These come in beautiful, beautiful digibook packaging. The quality is great, and the big deal about this was the first time that the original Japanese Gojira came out in the US, alongside the US King of the Monsters version, and it's actually on, nice crisp crack there, it's actually on 2 discs. You have the original Japanese film and the US version. And this is the best way to do it, to give you both versions in my opinion. There's also a nice booklet in here, some essays, cool pictures and stuff. Picture quality is great. I still like to use this set every once in a while. The menus make me very nostalgic, especially. And you can identify these films by their very stylized digibook cases. All the other standard films came in silver cases, which are still beautiful. It's a shame they couldn't have done all of the Showa films like this, but there was some copyright stuff, and some random films got not as cool packaging by Sony TriStar. Inside you get a nice still, and your disc. All the rest of these films are just single disc, but they do include both the US cut and the original Japanese film. And like I said, they actually swapped the title card on the US cut for this one, which originally said Gigantus, to Godzilla Raids Again. This is the big one. I've wanted this for over a decade. I've wanted this since I first started collecting Godzilla. I've had my eye on this for years, and it's finally mine. It's finally mine. The Rodan and War of the Gargantuas collection. I've talked about this in all the previous videos and how I lamented that I didn't have it. Now I do. Now I do, and it's so cool. This is the only disc release for the original Japanese Rodan, alongside the English cut, also available. There's another DVD part of this box set that I don't have. I will get it if I find the box set, but I used to have the Rodan DVD, and I've showed it in the previous videos, that the quality was not great in that one. It was pretty much VHS quality, and it was just the English cut. This one also has War of the Gargantuas. The packaging is a little bigger than the other Toho Master Collection, so this one actually sticks out of the shelf a little bit, which is kind of annoying, but it's so cool. I'm so happy that I finally got it. I do want to give a quick honorable mention to this Toho Collection DVD here. It's got 3 films: H-Man, Battle in Outer Space, and Mothra. Mothra did not get an individual DVD release. It only came out in collections with other films. Next is the King Kong vs. Godzilla DVD by Universal. This is only the US cut. It wasn't until Criterion that we actually got the Japanese cut out in the US. Pretty bare bones DVD. There's no bonus features. The quality is okay. It's not great. And I haven't put this one in a while, but the Blu Ray doesn't even have a menu. I'm not quite so sure if the DVD does or not. I can't remember, but it's a very bare bones set. Not really a necessity, but if you want it on DVD, there it is. The next 3 Godzilla films did release with the Toho Master Collection silver cases. These also came out in standard DVD cases as well. I'm not really interested in collecting those because I love these beautiful silver cases, and these came in the box set anyway. As you can see, this actually has also the alternate US titles on the bottom there. Of course, these are all the original Japanese and the US versions. These Toho Master Collection films are also the ones that were directed by Ishiro Honda, who was the creator, one of the creators of Godzilla and the director of the original film. Learn more about that in my retrospective I did on the original film. The next couple films were released by Sony under the 50th anniversary label. The packaging is whatever on these, but I will say the quality is pretty good. Pretty good quality for DVD. Unfortunately, Destroy All Monsters was released by ADV. I've never bought an ADV DVD that I liked. The quality is usually piss poor. I mean, the cover art here is awesome. It's from the VHS. The packaging is pretty iconic. There's also an alternate version of this film that is the same disc, but it also comes with the soundtrack. I do not have that one. I actually might try and track that down. I found out about that one somewhat recently, thanks to a comment on my previous video. So thank you for informing me about that. I never saw that in my research. Destroy All Monsters was supposed to be the last film, but then they came back and made arguably the worst film in the entire franchise. Arguably being the key word there. All Monsters Attack, also known as Godzilla's Revenge. This is the one that's mostly stock footage, which is my biggest gripe. And Minya talks in this one. This was also directed by Ishiro Honda. By this point, Godzilla was more popular with kids and had transitioned from being this very thematic beast to this lovable guy that all the kids adore. Hedorah is the one that you either love or you hate. It is the most drug-fueled film in the series. Inside of here, we actually have an insert for the, at the time, newly released Save the Earth. Also some other films that were releasing at the time. It's your back art, and you can see it has the Japanese and English. You have Godzilla vs. Gigan. Pretty much all of these DVDs I've showcased have all language options except for the Destroy All Monsters and King Kong vs. Godzilla. Now, Megalon was an oddball. I have the Blu Ray here. It's the only one I technically don't have on DVD because it didn't get a DVD release until this Tokyo Shock release. So, yeah, there were lots of bootlegs. You kind of had to have a bootleg because this one didn't come out until pretty much the very end. Not until Blu-ray was already a thing. I didn't get the DVD version of it, but I did get the Blu-ray. And for the most part, these are the only DVD releases of these films. The earlier Showa films, as I demonstrated from that previous box set, had alternate releases that were really bad. VHS quality and dub only. Not ideal. Not ideal. And here is the last film for Showa. Terror of Mechagodzilla. A real goofball of a movie. It was nice of them to at least close off with the Toho Master Collection for the final film of the original series of Godzilla movies. Now, moving on to Heisei DVDs is where things get a little weird. Now, they are more consistent, but it's a bit strange. So, first we have Godzilla 1984. As I said, the US cut did not release on disc, on DVD or Blu-ray. This is the original Japanese release, and it does have a dub in it. I don't know who did that dub. It's not very good, and it's not the original US version. It's just the dub that they threw on here. But this is the first time that the original Japanese film released in the US. This also came out in Blu-ray, as I'll show in the Blu-ray section. Blu-ray obviously looks better, but the DVD isn't too bad. I mainly got it, for the sake of the shelf, the DVD version. I think it's gotten a little pricey, as this still is currently the only release for this film. Criterion should be doing something with it soon, but I'm not going to say anything just yet. Here's the Biollante DVD, probably the worst release of the film out there. I've already done a video detailing the different releases when the 4K came out. If you want to check that out, be sure to do so. Yeah, the DVD's not great, and this used to be a very expensive film, the Blu-ray even more, but thanks to Criterion's new 4K, not so much. Still a bit pricey. Definitely not worth it. If you're going to get the film, get the Criterion release. It's just better in every aspect. The only thing you lose is that this does have the original HBO dub. Criterion does not. Now this is interesting. This is the dual pack for King Ghidorah and Mothra. This actually came out in the late 90s, around the same time that the VHSs did, and you can see the cover arts are the same. Interestingly enough, these films on disc never got individual releases, only in combo packs or trio packs. This is the combo pack, the original release, and I do have the insert. Opens up here. This is when DVDs were still new and fun. This is a very early DVD. It is in box 4:3 aspect ratio, so it looks great on a CRT, but not so much if you want to play it on, a modern TV. It actually really shows. Very nostalgic for this one. And this one growing up. The next film got a 50th anniversary TriStar Sony release, so 2004? when this one finally came out on disc. And interestingly enough, Mechagodzilla 2 got its own individual release. This is the English and Japanese versions. Actually, I should note that this collection is English only. And same with the next dual pack that closes off the Heisei, Space Godzilla and Destroya. This came out a little bit later. Yeah, this one's English only also. So it wasn't until the Blu Rays where we actually got a lot of these Heisei films, the original Japanese releases, out in the US. It's very interesting. And I do have a DVD copy of 98, as you saw from the previous box set that I had. Again, one of those films that everybody just kind of had in their house somewhere. You got the fun animated menus, all the bonus features and stuff, so it's a cool DVD. And I will go ahead and show, this is the complete animated series for Godzilla 98. I found this at Walmart actually, and they sure did shove all of those discs. They're just stacked on top of each other. I hate that. But yeah, that's the whole show, all 40 episodes right there. And let me just praise the Millennium Films for actually having an individual release for each movie. There was a triple pack that included Mothra, Battle for Earth, vs. King Ghidorah, and GMK. I don't have that, but that's okay, because I got the individual releases, and that's priority for me. And these films were all being released by Sony. Godzilla 2000, which also came out on VHS. This is the US version only, does not have the original Japanese. And the US version is interesting because it's actually slightly re-edited. There's timing's a bit different, and it is tweaked. It's not just the film dubbed over. They actually did a little bit of work to it. So it is its own cut, which is really interesting. I think that's the last Japanese film to have something like that done to it. And Megaguirus, standard release here. And this does have English and Japanese on it. We've got GMK. I'm very nostalgic for this film. Quite adore it. And this does have English and Japanese. And these are all just DVD quality. They look good on older TVs, not so much on newer ones. Here we've got the Kiryu films. Really do like these covers. These are really nice cover arts. Again, these are just standard quality DVDs, and they should have the English and Japanese on both of them. Cool back art. Beautiful Metropolis or Fiery Hell. Love that. And lastly, Godzilla Final Wars. And I say lastly, not because this isn't the last film to come out on DVD, but it's the last one to come out when DVD was the new hip thing, because after this, the films are going to be on Blu Ray, 4K, obviously the superior choices for those films, whereas all the other ones got Blu Ray re-releases. These are the initial direct releases on DVD, where I classify them as being worth owning, because as I'll talk about with the Blu Rays, well, I'll get to it. Final Wars was a big deal, big DVD release. We thought this was going to be it. It's got English and Japanese in 5.1. That's cool. All the monsters. Look at all those monsters in there. Yeah, Final Wars it's kind of kicks ass. There you have it. A basically complete DVD collection of all the films that released prior to the HD world of Blu-ray or 4K. These are the best DVDs for each of these films. And my personal recommendation for your own collection if you want the DVDs as well. And you might want a few of them for preservation's sake, as I'll detail when we move into the Blu-rays. So I am going to go ahead and include 4Ks as part of this as well with the Blu-rays. And the first big new thing here is the new 4K restoration for the original Godzilla by Criterion. I had the Blu-ray for this. If you see my previous videos, I had the exact Blu-ray version of this. I actually traded that in when I got the 4K. It's quite thicker. I have some comparison pictures I took beforehand. It's quite thicker because it has an extra disc compared to the original. This includes the Blu-ray and 4K disc. Just like the original, you get the nice interior with the booklet here. It's the same booklet as the original. And got your Godzilla pop out there, pretty cool. It's not the right Godzilla design, but still pretty cool. And you can see it's got an extra disc, or the original only had one disc. And this does include both the Japanese and the Raymond Burr versions. And I gotta say, the original Godzilla has never looked better than this. If you want the original Godzilla, this is the best version. Now, as beautiful as the Criterion box set is, it's kind of a pain in the ass, especially with the way that the discs are packaged. I'm not a big fan of that, so I had these custom cases made. These cases are just custom made to store the discs that come in the Criterion box set. See, just pretty simple enough. I've done a couple reviews and talked about the Criterion collection. This is the Supreme Starter Pack for your Godzilla collection, because you get the entire Showa collection in one set. That's never been done before. Never. Now, in the US at least. Now, the quality is kind of sketchy because Toho didn't actually let Criterion remaster anything. They had to just use what Toho supplied them with. You can actually make a pretty heavy argument about the DVDs versus the Blu Rays in that regard. Not all of these films include the English versions, which can be a real downer for a lot of people, especially those nostalgic of the older films and the older dubs and they want to check them out. Unfortunately, a lot of them are not available in this set. Some of them are. Some of them are like significantly different. I believe Destroy All Monsters in the very early films. Raids Again, I don't think has it, and that can be a downside for some fans, but it is a beautiful collection. It looks amazing. Artwork is insane, but it is the best start for your collection. If you want to start getting Godzilla movies on disc, you're getting the entire first series right there. It's worth it. It really is. I also want to acknowledge this Mothra steelbook, which is absolutely beautiful. I hope Rodan gets a treatment like this, but I doubt it. I love this. This is one of my favorite steelbooks. I mentioned this before, but here is the King Kong vs. Godzilla Blu-ray. It's identical to the DVD. The quality is a little bit better, but it's only the US version. No bonus features, no menu for that matter, just the US cut of the movie in HD. The Criterion box set gave us both versions, but interestingly enough, it's the first time we got the original Japanese in the US, which is crazy. Some of the Showa films did get Blu-ray releases. You had Sea Monster, which was released by Kraken. I showed their 1984 DVD earlier. I really actually do like these Blu-rays. The color is really nice on the picture, and you do get the US and Japanese versions. I mean, before Criterion, these were great, and you can even probably find some arguments whether or not these are better than the Criterion Blu-rays with the work that was done with them. If you do run across them for a good price, I'd recommend picking them up, but if they cost a lot, don't worry too much about it. It's not that big of a deal. Tokyo Shock, which did Megalon, also did Destroy All Monsters. Definitely superior than the ADV DVD, that's for sure. Kraken also did Hedorah and Gigan. Same thing, you get the English and Japanese. The quality is really nice, but they are out of print. Oop. They are out of print. Now here is the entirety of the Heisei films on Blu-ray. I did something a little different with these, and I'm going to showcase that now. But first, here is Godzilla 1984, the Blu-ray by Kraken. Again, the quality is much better on this than the DVD, but the features are all the same. English and Japanese, but not the original English. It's their own custom dub, or wherever that dub came from. And this is something I did myself. This is 1985 that I put on a Blu-ray disc. Very, very, very choppily, but I love the cover art that I found online. I printed it out on glossy paper, and I think it looks good enough when you pull it out on the shelf. And the disc does work. I mean, I put it in, and it's a fan restoration that's been going around for 1985. Again, I've already did a video on this. This is the original Blu-ray for Biollante, which at one point was a holy grail item to have. This was like the rarest Godzilla item in my collection for a time. This is the one with the disc art. And it still kind of is because it has the dub in HD. But other than that, this version is not great. The quality, the picture quality is bad, it's very dull. The audio is so undynamic. It's really bad. I've done like detailed comparisons of this in my Biollante video, if you haven't checked that out, with the much more superior and most recent, the Criterion Biollante release. Unfortunately, no slipcover or cool pop-out like the Godzilla 4K. And again, I've done a video on this already, showcasing it. You got the cool poster on the inside. I love this. This is my favorite version, and I'm going to watch it again today for my birthday, as I usually watch Biollante. I'm really excited to watch it again. This is, if you see this one, grab the 4K, because it does have the Blu Ray disc in it if you don't have a 4K player yet. Grab the 4K, it's worth it. When you do get a 4K player, oh man, it's so good. I mean, even the Blu Ray disc on here is still a better restoration. This is from Toho's restoration, and they did a damn good job. But yeah, I adore this. The only thing you're missing is that the dub is not present, and apparently the subtitles, I didn't notice it myself when I initially did the review, but I guess I had to kind of do it quickly to get the video out. The subtitles aren't 100% accurate. I'm going to double check that myself the next time I revisit the movie. I think it'll be enough to get you through. So the next set of Godzilla films came out in dual packs. And you can see that this actually puts it out of order because what's Megaguirus doing there? That's not the next one. It's because Godzilla 2000 got an individual release. So these are slightly out of order. And me, I like my shelf to look a little bit better. So I actually took the discs out. You can see the insides here, which all have the individual cover arts on the inside. And yes, these do have the original. They have some bonus features too. They got trailers, but these have the original Japanese and English in HD, remastered. They look great. Not really that drastically better than the DVDs on some of them, but we're waiting for Criterion. We're waiting for Criterion. I took the liberty of doing something a little different for my shelf. Trailers are mostly the bonus features here, it seems. So what I did is I took the discs from the Sony releases and I put them in custom cases. And some spare Blu Ray cases I had, they don't fully match, unfortunately, but I printed out these custom covers I found online that are meant to match the Sony collections. You see even the back looks similar. I got these on glossy paper, I printed them out, cut them out myself, made my own cover, made my own custom cases so these films could have individual releases on my shelf. So again, these are not authentic, well, the discs are from the authentic Sony releases, the Blu Ray dual packs, but I just took them into custom cases that I made myself. And they use the original Japanese posters. I think it looks really cool. It still has the Toho Godzilla collection there, remastered in high definition, so it matches, it's consistent. These are really nice. I really like how these look. You can pull them out on the shelf. It's like, they gave these movies their own releases like they deserve. And of course, the dual packs are great budget-wise because you're getting two films basically for the price of one. Some of them you can still get. The later ones, I believe the Millennium ones you can still get. But the early Heisei ones I've seen go up pretty pricey and go back down to fair prices. So it kind of fluctuates a little bit. So you just kind of watch and see if you can find any deals for that until the inevitable next collection from Criterion. But yeah, those are pretty pricey. Those can be pretty pricey. This one in particular, I've seen go into the hundreds and the 200s, so keep an eye on that. And then I gave Destroya its own release so that it can be in order now, like it's supposed to be. Like I said, I made these myself, so they're not perfect, but they do the job for the shelf. And I do have the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy, and I'm not really that intent on giving these custom cases, not yet at least, but got all the films there, English and Japanese. But yep, this was a nice collection, nice addition that Sony gave us. Godzilla 2000 is the US version is a recut, essentially, so I guess they qualified this as 2 movies anyway, because it does have the Japanese and US versions, which are slightly different altered films. So this one did get an individual release. This is authentic. This is not mine. I didn't make this. This is the original from Sony. See by the inside art there. Some bonus features in there too, actual bonus features, not just trailers. As you recall, Megaguirus was released out of order with Destroya, so I made sure to give that one its own case too. And this poster art goes really hard for that movie. Now I haven't got any custom covers yet for the rest of these films. I just kept them in their default, authentic Toho releases. And that's about it for the original lineup of Godzilla films. Here is the original Funimation Blu Ray for Shin Godzilla. This one I got day one. This is the original black label with the slipcover. And this was released by Funimation, so it does have a dub with Funimation, mostly anime voice actors in it. This is now out of print with the new release by G-Kids. Here is the back cover and your discs. I do like this. It's got the black case. It's pretty cool. It looks really slick, I think. Well, it was quite literally last minute, but the deluxe edition for Shin Godzilla came in the day before I meant to have this posted. As you can see, this is still in the shrink wrap. I haven't even opened this up yet, so let me get to that. Alright, and here is the outer case. This is very much modeled off of the original Japanese 4K release. This was distributed by G-Kids, who did three different versions. The standard, which is very similar to the Funimation release. There's a steelbook that includes 3 of these discs, and then there's this deluxe edition, which is the only version that has all 4 discs in it. You can see here in this back slip the details of the films and the versions and the discs. So this is the inner case here. You can see all 4 discs. These are actually labeled, so that's helpful. I haven't actually gotten to watch this yet, so I can't say anything for the quality, as I literally just opened this here for the first time. Very impromptu, but I wanted this in the collection. This was the last thing I was waiting on to get this video out this year. Inside we've got some little advertisement for the Godzilla shop, and cool booklet here. These storyboards. This looks interesting. Pretty neat. This is a very slick but simplistic design. I like it. And the final Godzilla film released by Toho as of now, Godzilla -1. Ah, wait, hold on a minute. Godzilla -1. This is the standard US 4K. I'm actually going to give this to a friend of mine, because I don't need it anymore, but it has the same bonus features in here. I think it has a dub in there as well. I mean, it's good, standard 4K release, but this, beautiful. This is the Japanese deluxe edition, but it was released in the Godzilla store with English subtitles. Although I would have been fine still getting it without it. See, you got the back slip here. Real beautiful stuff. And it has 4 discs. That includes 2 cuts of the film. Inside we get these little advertisements for figurines and stuff. Booklet here. Got some designs there. It's really cool. Another booklet. Picture booklet. I adore this film. Actually, my first video I did when I came back to doing YouTube stuff was on -1. I couldn't believe how much I love this film, how much it really shook me to my core. and if it deserves nothing better than getting the most ultimate release. This has the original film in 4K. It also has the Blu Ray, as well as the black and white version. I did see it again in theaters to see it in that version as well. And a bonus features disc. This is the supreme way to own the film. And there were multiple releases for -1 alone. There was this, with and without English subtitles. There was the standard 4K. There was the steelbook that I missed out on. Sadly, I couldn't pre-order it in time, and it sold out and never came back. And there was the watch-along edition. That was a Godzilla store exclusive that included the black and white version with some extra bonuses. And I think it's really screwy, actually, how many different releases there were right next to each other. Like, you just spend $30, $40 on one version for them to be like, okay, here's another one that's slightly better than what you just spent money on. And I don't know, I think that's kind of scummy, actually, how many different versions of that film that just came out. But this one, this is my favorite. This one is awesome. And lastly, and kind of least, we have the US films. First is the TriStar. This is the 4K Steelbook. I've already showed the DVD and VHS, but this is the 4K Steelbook. It's actually a really pretty Steelbook, I think. Good. I haven't actually watched this one yet. I haven't gotten around to watching the 4K of this film yet. Maybe I'll do that this year, actually. This is the 4K Steelbook. They actually remastered the film, and it looks really good. You can see the scenes at nighttime now, which is really nice. It's got the original Blu Ray disc. That's actually the same from this set. And the new 4K. Nope. Interior. Oh, there is some interior art. It's really hard to see. I'm not sure if they're still releasing the 4K. I'm pretty sure there's box sets and stuff of the legendary films that have the 4K version in it. But pretty sure the Steelbook is out of print now. Unfortunately, I didn't get the Steelbook for Kong Skull Island, but I did get the standard Blu Ray in 4K. The Blu Ray I got actually came with a slipcover. Unfortunately, the 4K didn't. I also willfully chose to get the standard 4K over the Steelbook because I thought that the cover art was a lot better on this. Kind of lamenting that now because now it's kind of inconsistent, but standard King of the Monsters 4K right there. As I said before, a lot of these films have been re-released in box sets now, but I like having the individual covers. Next up is the Godzilla vs. Kong 4K set, 4K Blu-ray collection. Some interior art there. Pretty cool Steelbook. And very lastly, what was this one called again? New Empire. That's right. And there you go. Every Godzilla movie. Whew. It's easy to look at this. It's easy to look at this collection and think, man, that's gratuitous. But you know, I love it. I love, not just as a Godzilla fan, I love collecting physical media. I love being able to just, when I want to watch one of these movies, I can just grab it off the shelf and it's there. I don't have to worry about what streaming service has it. But we do live in a nice era now where you can stream these movies, which wasn't always a privilege. And I mean that even when streaming was a thing, because now that Criterion has a lot of these films, you can stream them through HBO or the Criterion channel. But, you know, it's still, with Godzilla, it's always flaky. You never know what's going to happen with their copyright holders. You never know where they're going to end up going. So it's always good to grab these movies while you can. And you know what? I almost forgot. We've got a few Godzilla games here as well. This is not all of them, obviously. This is, we've got Destroy All Monsters, which is the first of the Pipeworks trilogy. I actually did a video on those games, as well as the PS4 game. I've done a video on all of these. I still want to get the Xbox version because it has the extra Mecha Godzilla Kiryu, and it does play a little bit better, in my opinion. But this is the original GameCube release, which is cool to have. This is complete in box. Inside the manual actually has an ad for that bad Godzilla box set. And I have a PS2 copy of Save the Earth. I do want to get this upgraded to Xbox because of the backwards compatibility with the 360, which is actually more of an upscale than a backwards playable version, because it actually, the 360 version is the best version. And so yeah, I kind of want to get the Xbox version instead, but still cool to have it. Awesome having a PS2 system that I grew up with. think this is my favorite of the Pipeworks trilogy. And the also very expensive Godzilla PS4. But yeah, those are all the games that I have, unfortunately. Well, there it is. There's my 2025 collection. I can go back to saying it's complete now that I have -1 in the shelf. Which movies will you be watching today? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. And be sure to check out my socials to keep up with the channel. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.